Hey guys, this is the Fight Nerd, and joining me now is Herschel Walker. Herschel, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going well. It's going pretty good.
Now, we're here at the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix weigh-ins here in Jersey. Strikeforce, by the time this video comes out, by the way, you're probably not going to be seeing this time. So anyway, I want to get your predictions for what's happening for tomorrow's fight in the two main events, Andrei Arlovsky versus Sergey, and Fedor versus Bigfoot. Who's going to be winning those two fights?
Sergey and Andrei, it's going to be a good fight. You know what's strange is people don't realize that Sergey has been fighting MMA as well. People see him more as that kickboxer than that K1, but that guy can fight MMA. So I tell you, Andrei going to have his work cut out for him. It's not going to be an easy fight. I think that's going to be a great fight. And I think that one is hard to call. I think that's a toss-up. I think the Bigfoot Silva and Fedor, I love Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot has really put on some great shows, but he's fighting Fedor. Fedor is considered the baddest man on the planet. I don't care what people say. That guy is the baddest man on the planet. And you look at his weight, he's not a big guy, but he puts on a show. So my edge, I'm giving it to Fedor on that side there.
Now, who's your favorite for the entire tournament to win?
Well, that is interesting that you asked that because, I love Brett Rogers, but I think Brett Rogers is going to have a tough fight with Josh Barnett. But because Brett Rogers got that big punch, and if Josh Barnett takes him lightly, I think Brett Rogers can come out of that side on that bracket. And I think the two guys will be fighting on the other bracket would be Fedor and Averin. I think people forget about Alistair. Alistair is he's an interesting and incredible fighter. What he's been doing over the past couple of months. He has been busy. Most heavyweight fighters in MMA fight maybe 2 times a year, at very most maybe 3 times a year. This guy has fought 7, 8 times a year. And when people count his K1, and not only that, he become a K1 champion, where he's had to put on 3 fights in a night. This guy's got the stamina. This guy he's a fighter. He called people out, and he's the champion. So I think the fight with him and Fedor is going to be a great fight.
So that's who you're seeing in the finals, Fedor and Overeem.
Well, they're gonna be knocked out in the bracket because they're on the same side. Remember, they're gonna fight before they even get to the championship. So that's what's gonna be interesting. That Strikeforce and Showtime have put together a show that you're gonna see fights. All the fights are gonna be good fights, and you're gonna see where Fedor and Averin may hook up before they even get into the finals.
Very true, very true. Now, you recently just fought Scott Carson. How are you feeling after that fight?
No, I feel well. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back yet because Scott.
Can I do that for you?
Like myself. Well, you don't have to do that yet. I tell everyone Scott is young like myself. I think we were very happy to be on that card with Nick Diaz. With those guys there because Scott and I was young, and I'm getting better. He's getting better, but we want to put on a good show. And I say as we get older, we're gonna get better, and that's what I want to do.
Now, you fought Scott Carson. He's not exactly a long-time veteran of the sport. He's an older guy, been in it for a while, but he's not really one of the top guys, even one of the middle-class guys, let's say. Now, I know you're not really necessarily fighting, looking towards a belt. You just want to take it one fight at a time, but what kind of challenge do you want to see yourself fighting next?
Well, I've been saying, as I stay in this sport, I got to step up in talent. One thing you got to do, and I think it makes this sport more worthy, and that's what I want to do, is my next fight, if I fight again, I got to step up in talent. And that's what people don't understand. My first fight against Greg, both of us were young. My next fight against Scott still had a little bit more experience than myself. But my next fight, I got to step up a little bit more. And that's what you got to do. That's what makes this sport a great sport, is a matchup. You want to match them up with guys that got the talent you have, and guys are going to fight better than you and make you step up.
Now, what do you like best about fighting MMA? Since it has been 2 fights now and you're still taking things one fight at a time, what's keeping you still interested in the sport? Well,
I've been interested in martial arts for a long time. Being around the fighters at AKA has really got me so excited to be around guys, seeing them grow, seeing them mature. And I tell you, that's what I like. And it has nothing to do with me fighting. What it has to do is seeing my guys who become like my family, become like my brothers out there fighting. I want to see them excel. Seeing Cain Velasquez win the belt, seeing Josh Koscheck go up against St. Pierre. St. Pierre is an incredible fighter. Seeing Luke Rockhold fighting, seeing Josh Thompson who's here fighting. All these guys, seeing these guys fighting in Fitch. Fitch is considered, the #1 in the world in his weight class. Seeing those guys go out there and they fight, that gets me excited.
Now, do you have any thoughts about the potential of an upcoming NFL player strike?
Well, that's going to be hard. Not just hard on the players, but it's going to be hard on this economy. It's going to really put a lot of people out of work. This is something that I always say sometimes, when something is large as this that's about to happen, we could have taken care of it when it was smaller. They knew that this was going to be happening years ago. And at that time, why are you not talking about it then to try to get it now to the point where you're not at this point? So that's why I would love to see. It's going to be sad if they have to go on strike. That's going to be sad because it's really going to put a lot of people out of work. And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be able to put people out of work.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Just had a little run in here. But either way, that's going to wrap up the interview. Herschel, thanks for your time. And we'll be seeing you hopefully soon in the Strikeforce cage.
Thank you. Oh, well, I'll be back.
Any dates for us?
Not yet. Since I just finished the fight with Scott, my thing now is get back in the gym. And like I said, everything is all left up to my trainers. I told them when I first came into the gym, if they don't think I should fight, I won't fight. My thing is get in there and train and try to bring some more clout, bring more recognition to this sport, to let everyone know that this is a wonderful, great sport, and that's what I'm trying to do.